Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
An emotional and at times chaotic board meeting at Michigan State University ends with the same leadership in place, but big questions about what comes next. Glad you're with us this Friday for Local 4 News at 5. I'm Devin Skillian.
And I'm Kimberly Gill. MSU's trustees have a lot on their collective plate. There's the Mel Tucker situation, lingering issues involving Larry Nassar. The focus today, accusations of bullying against the board chair, Dr. Rima Vassar, levied by trustee Brianna Scott, who broke down in tears while discussing the claims today. Priya Mann was there for the nearly 4-hour board meeting. And Priya joins us live with more. Priya.
Kim, Devin, this board meeting was at capacity from the moment it started till it wrapped up early this afternoon. There were plenty of supporters there for Dr. Vassar, including from MSU's Black Students Alliance. There are also growing calls for her to resign, including from MSU's Faculty Senate.
My sister right here is being publicly lynched.
There was no shortage of drama at the MSU Board of Trustees meeting in East Lansing.
I'd like to ask you to stop attacking me.
The infighting between board members now on full display. Trustee Brianna Scott reduced to tears while describing the public backlash since accusing board chair Dr. Rima Vassar of bullying and misconduct.
You had no idea the stuff that has been said about me this week. And all I wanted to do was stand up for people who don't have a voice because they're so afraid to do what I have done.
Vassar addressed the allegations directly.
I'm looking forward to a review of my conduct, as I am not aware of any policy I have violated.
Every single trustee member here has work to do. Putting a black woman at the front of this is nothing more than labeling her as a scapegoat.
This is not about party. This is not about race. This is about what is good for the university and its students and the state of Michigan.
All of this unfolding as MSU tries to hire a new president by Thanksgiving. What do you make of what you heard Trustee Scott saying today? Yes.
I haven't had time to process, so no comment.
Do you have any plans to resign?
No.
And you heard it there from Dr. Vassar. She does not plan to go anywhere. Now, it's not easy to remove a board member, a board trustee member here. They are publicly elected positions. Governor Whitmer has said she wants a thorough investigation. So as of right now, leadership will remain in place at MSU. Coming up at 6 o'clock, this is not the only scandal that's been rocking the university. We'll be hearing from sister survivors as the saga of ex-MSU Dr. Larry Nassar continues. Reporting live tonight, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Definitely a heated meeting today. Priya, we appreciate your report.
We have learned the 18 victims of the Maine mass shooting now all been identified, ranging in age from 14 to 76 years of age. City of Lewiston and its surrounding community still on edge tonight as the search teams have not been able to locate the suspect in the shooting from Wednesday night.
NBC's Chris Ballone is following the search in Lewiston.
Tonight, the Maine Medical Examiner's Office says all 18 victims of Wednesday's massacre have been identified and their families are now being notified. This as the manhunt continues and searchers are focusing their attention on an area where a key piece of evidence was discovered. As the search for Robert Card intensifies in Maine, police are increasing their focus on a portion of the Androscoggin River in Lisbon, with investigators looking from the air, walking the riverbanks, and diving beneath the water. This area is where police found Card's abandoned car moments after the shooting rampage Wednesday night that left 18 people dead at 2 businesses in nearby Lewiston.
The river is a big piece of this.
Tens of thousands in the region remain under shelter-in-place orders for a second straight day. Schools and businesses were closed, the streets largely deserted. The unknown adding tension to a community that just wants to grieve. Victims' families are slowly learning more about their loved ones' last moments and sharing stories about how they stood up and faced death so others might have a chance to live, like Leroy Walker's son, Joey.
He could have gone right out the back door. He was only 20 feet from the back door. He wouldn't have been possibly even shot at all. But I knew my son wouldn't do that anyways. I knew that was not going to be Joey Walker.
As the search for Card continues, authorities are facing mounting questions about whether he should have had access to guns in the first place. Card's family tells NBC News they were increasingly concerned about his mental health after he began hearing voices and making threats.
There's going to be an opportunity to answer all those questions.
Police say their main focus right now is keeping people safe until Robert Card is found. The White House says President Biden is constantly being updated on the state of the manhunt here in Maine, and he also spoke with FBI Director Christopher Wray, who told him there are 200 FBI agents here helping with state and local officials in their search. In Lewiston, Maine, Chris Pallone, Local 4.
Hi, Chris. Disturbing information emerging today in the murder of Samantha Ginther. She's the woman whose body was found in an East Point storm drain after she'd been missing for weeks. Well, now her son, Justin Jackson, is being charged with her murder as well as tampering with evidence and lying to police. Megan Woods was there as a judge read off those charges, and Megan, police are calling what happened to her horrendous.
Kimberly, that's right. Not just because this man is being accused of killing his mother, but police are saying several weapons were involved in this. But then the case gets even darker when you hear prosecutors today in court lay out a possible motive. Take a look.
This individual punched and then stabbed and then, without going into all the details, did horrendous things to this person, allegedly for contacting and being concerned about his children and contacting protective services.
Macomb County Assistant Prosecutor Rebecca Kelly is referring to Justin Jackson. The East Point man is facing multiple charges surrounding his mother's murder. Police say one of Samantha's daughters filed a missing persons report in September, saying she hadn't heard from her mother since June.
She further stated that it was not terribly unusual for her not to return phone calls, but that this time period had been way too long.
Then, on October 25th, East Point Police and MSP Crime Lab searched Samantha's last known address in Aaron Park. That's when Justin was taken into custody.
During the interrogation, he confessed. All signs indicated that she was murdered back on June 18.
Investigators believe she was murdered inside the home, then put in a storm drain in an open area where the nearest home was about 100 feet away.
The simple fact that the son murdered his own mother is terrible.
Today, Justin Jackson pled not guilty. His attorney also saying that he struggles with drug addiction. Now, as for prosecutors, they asked for a $2 million bond, and the judge went beyond that, giving him a $10 million cash bond. Back to you.
Now, Megan, I know earlier this week we reported there was another person in custody. Is there any new information on that person?
So police were saying that that person was a friend of Justin's who was inside the home when the search had happened, but that person has been released.
Yeah, okay. Just devastating. All right. Megan, thank you.
All right, now to a busy day for all in the stand-up strike. Ford begins work to get its plants up and running again. United Auto Workers prepare for a ratification vote and also keep talks with General Motors and Stellantis going. Let's get to our business editor, Rob Maloney, live tonight with some late-breaking developments. Been a lot of chatter. What's happening now, Rod?
Yeah, well, Devin, there are some media reports saying that GM Stellantis have a tentative agreement. That is not accurate. The UAW just telling me, like in the last minute, that it is not accurate. The talks are still ongoing. But I will tell you this. General Motors in the last few minutes just put out a brand new offer with a 25% compounded raise, which is getting it in line with Ford. But we started looking at what is in the contract today and what it means to the industry. Let's hear about that. The average new car sold in America costs $48,000, and guess what? With this new Ford contract, should the union ratify, yes, the union gets its hefty raise, but it will also mean even higher prices on the dealer lot, says Wedbush securities analyst Dan Ives.
The uphill battle is just the increased cost, because now we believe they're going to have to increase anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 some of these cars pass to the consumer. It's not Ford that's going to ultimately take these costs, as the consumer.
And while President Biden put out a statement happy to see Ford and the UAW get their tentative contract, it also means a blow to the president's electric vehicle conversion schedule. Auto analyst Alan Baum tells Local 4 the domestic three are now forced to step back.
In the electric vehicle area, they're backing off a little bit, and that is also a cost issue.
The administration wants to have 67% of American cars and SUVs sold by 2032, all electric vehicles assembled here in the States. Baum believes that's a deadline we're no longer likely to meet.
They're saying to Wall Street, we've taken these increased contracts, now we're going to try to reduce our capital expenditures, reduce our unprofitable work with electric vehicles, and increase the volumes of the ICE vehicles where we are strong and very profitable.
Now, Alan Baum is also an expert in the supplier space, and what he's saying is that the lower tier suppliers, which were already struggling after COVID, are going to be leaned on even more heavily, and we could actually see some bankruptcies as a result of all of this. Reporting live in Royal Oak, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
A while to sort all of this and get to the bottom of what the cost exactly has been. All right, Rod.
I see Rod out there with his eyes kind of squinting because the sun is in his eyes. It's really nice.
And we're on this stretch of really mild weather, but that's about it for that, correct?
Yeah, that's right. It's been great, though.
Yeah, we're wrapping things up. This is our last hurrah. So if you can, get outside and do anything tonight, whether it's just rake up a few leaves, take the dog for a walk, eat out, anything you can do outside, do it tonight, because we have about 4 more hours and then all things change. 77 downtown right now, mid-70s at Metro Airport, also in Pontiac, 74 in Mount Clemens. It's 8 degrees warmer right now than it was yesterday in Mount Clemens, 11 degrees warmer in Grosse Ile, and 4 degrees warmer out at the airport. We have a cold front back to our north and west. It's bringing some showers to parts of the UP and northern lower Michigan, and those showers will move into Metro Detroit sometime after about 8 o'clock tonight, but they'll be done by tomorrow, leaving us with partly sunny skies but falling temps, and then next week the first few flakes of the season not out of the question.